Hello, my name is Jules, and whenever you join me here on my channel, you are considered one of my treasures. Decided to come live to you today on YouTube, just talk about, you know, about a happy Pride Month, um, and to wish, basically wish everybody a happy Pride Month. Me, I am a 53-year-old transgender woman. I do have a YouTube channel. Right now, currently of 102 subscribers. We just hit that, and I'm very, very happy. Um, so, um, if you are new here, feel free to hit a like to my channel and subscribe. You can always share it with your friends. Um, and you are free, we can just talk about life in general. I like to tell everybody on my channel, you will see that it is called Jules Treasures 5T1. The 5Ts of my channel are about transition. Since I am a 53-year-old transgender woman, it is about triathlon, as I do participate in triathlon, talk about training, and when training, it is about triathlon training, and also teach about other little lessons on Saturdays. I used to do a little segment called Survival Saturday. I used to teach about, how to be prepared for certain situations. Um, and I talk about trends. So I talk about the different clothing I buy, different hauls. And I also talk about any tips I may have. And that goes back to, triathlon, um, or, and any preparation tips, stuff like that. So anybody that is here, welcome to the stream. I do want to be on here about an hour. That would be good. So just feel free to be, to talk about everything. Oh, thank you for the thumbs up. Uh, so who's in here today? Um, hey, Lena, how's it going? Yeah, today I'm going a little different. I'm actually streaming through YouTube. I'm not. I'm not streaming through the StreamYard. I think StreamYard kind of, I think, limits it a little bit because they did send me an email that I had done too much on their platform. I had very few time on there left, so I thought I'd do a live stream tonight. On Wednesday night, I do leave to California, so I probably won't be on my channel for close to a week. Um, but I will do some video in California, take some video of the different places I go to, uh, take some pics. Um, yeah, that's why I decided to do it. It was just kind of a spontaneous thing. I did a video right before this, um, and as people come on, maybe, or they watch this, uh, um, I do want people to know that we are at 102 subscribers. I am happy right now because that was my second goal. Um, when we talk about the 5T, if you look at, the 5T1, it actually stands for 51. 51 is a very significant number in my life. Actually, at 51 is when I first came out bisexual, and eventually figured out I was trans. But not only that, it's influenced many other things in my lifetime. It has influenced what job I went into, depending on your age. Uh, there used to be a TV show in the 70s called, it talked about paramedics on the road, but it was called Emergency One, and their squad number was 51, which oddly enough, the ambulance that picked up my dad before he passed away was number 51. My first email address was J Jules and my last name and 51. I've worked at a pharmaceutical research facility, and it my office was called Area 51, and it's not the Area 51 that you're thinking of. It was just nicknamed that because they were rewiring the place and they needed to identify certain areas by numbers, and mine was 51, and it just became called Area 51, which I did give it some alien decor just for the fun of it. So how are you doing today, Lena? Yeah, it is. I love it. So when I was trying to think of my channel, I started trying to put 51 to it. So I think it came an inspiration came from the movie Dodgeball, where they talk about the 5 Ds of dodgeball. Um, and so I called it, Jules 5T1. So I made up the 5 Ts to my channel. And you've probably heard him before if you've watched any of my videos. Means transition, triathlon, training, trends, and tips. So, that's where it all comes from. Oh, that's cool. If you look at it, that's just our it reversed. Thank you. I don't know if you watched on my video that I just made earlier. Now that we hit 102 subscribers, like I said, it's 51 times 2. I am doing a little giveaway. You have to go to that video and just hit a like and then put a comment in it. And if you watch the video, it shows what I'm giving away. I don't know if you're into backpacking or anything like that. I'm giving away these 2 little items. I'm giving away a canteen it'll go easy on a backpack. It has a, has a MOLLE system. So, or you can like hook it onto your belt. Yeah, you should see my backpack. It has like 5 pouches like this. So now this is the same color as my first aid kit, and you see how fat this thing is. Mine is probably just as big, or bigger. But what mine contains in it is very comprehensive, since I was an ER nurse for a very long time. So I do want people to have stuff to be prepared. I used to do a segment on my channel called Survival Saturday. You can see what my backpack looks like on there. I think on one of my next Survival Saturdays, what I want to do is maybe I want to get some MREs and show people the different types of MREs that are out there. I recently had someone that had gone through like all the same hurricanes I had gone through, and it's like we were talking about being prepared. It was on our last live stream. Her name was Jules also, in fact. It was awesome. Well, I hope we have more people join us in here. Like I said, this was a spontaneous thing to do. Yeah, Jules' work. She was really cool. It was cool to talk to someone, because the person that shared the channel with her, he was from the UK, and then she happened to be from Florida, the same area that I lived in. So that was totally coincidental. And that's what I love about social media. It can bring, it's funny how things can all go for full circle. How was your day today? What area of Florida did you live in? I'm sorry if my glasses give a horrible reflection of light and can't see my eyes. I did pretty cool eye makeup today. I kind of blended colors, green and white, to match the green and white on my blouse. And then my good old, I love doing my wings. Oh yeah, yeah, that was north. That's north of us, where I lived. I lived in Cape Coral, Florida. That was like it was funny yesterday here in New Mexico. We got rain, and they said flash flood warning, and I was like, I look outside, and there was no floods. I think there was more flood in my room. Uh, there's some kind of patchwork that the wall needs, and I called the landlord's emergency line, and they didn't want to come out because apparently they couldn't. They said they couldn't go up on the roof for repair. Hey, so Lena, tell me a little bit more about yourself. Do you work? Oh, all I had to do was mop my room up. Luckily, I don't have bedroom furniture yet. It's still in a pod that I need to get transported from Florida to here, and hopefully that happens soon. It is kind of expensive. I think it's going to be like almost $2,500 to get it transported. So I gotta save up $2,500 or do it like in September when I can cash out of my 401k or my thrift savings plan, as the government calls it. Oh, that sounds cool. Do you sell them or anything like that? Uh, I know. I get that. I know my daughter used to sell paintings that she does. And yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be enough for to make a living, but now she's found a pretty good job with a nonprofit for the deaf. Yeah, we all. That's the thing is we're all either left brain or right brained. I'm a big left brainer. I'm very analytical, and and I always try to break things down. So I'm analyzing them. You're probably a right brainer. See, I'm already analyzing you. You're probably a right brainer. Very creative person. Oh, we got a second person in the stream. Hello, welcome to the stream. That's what a lot of people say. I have I've done a lot of different things when it comes to my jobs. Well, no, I have worked many different departments or different styles of nursing. Um, that's the thing about nursing. Um, you can work 20 different fields if you wanted to. You know, one year if you want to work ER, then the next year if you want to work the OR, or the next year you can work the ICU, you know, or if you want to work with hospice, that's another thing. You know, there's so many different things. It's it's a great field. There's so many uh, things that you can expand upon. Uh, I've worked in, let's see, ER was a big thing. It's probably the thing I've worked the longest in, uh, which is considered critical care. I've worked primary care, so that's like a doctor's office. That's what I do now. I've actually worked in assisted living facilities, which is it's pretty interesting because so many people think like retirement homes uh, or convalescent homes they used to call them. But an assisted living facility is nice because it's just split basically like a big group of condos people go to live in, and you're the nurse in charge there, and uh, and basically you can go around give them their medications if they can't take them themselves, and then if something happens to them medically, you take care of them. You know, if you have to send them to the hospital, you send them to the hospital, and but other than that, they're pretty much independent, and you get to develop a relationship with those people, which are really cool. Same thing happens with primary care. Like right now, working at the VA, it's interesting to get to learn, get to know your veterans. When it comes to hobbies, yeah, I've had a lot of them. My main ones right now, I like to do archery. I like to do triathlon. Um, and that kind of covers three of them. Well, two of my favorite ones, which are swimming and biking. And I like to mountain bike and road bike. Now, running is part of triathlon, so I have to run. I'm not the greatest runner whatsoever. Um, like I said, archery is like a family tradition. My grandfather was a very big archer, and I kind of took it from there and learned on my own. Um, and another thing, I don't know how you feel about it, but um, I like going to the gun range from time to time and shooting paper. You know, I would never use them for anything else. Having some of my Arnold Palmer there. Um, that's one of my ideas for maybe one of my Survival Saturday videos. Actually, two ideas. One may be talking archery, maybe different types of bows. I do want to buy a new bow. Um, Actually, I want to buy two different bows, uh, and I want. I would also like to do one on. I know. I know it would be a challenging topic, but I would like to do one on gun safety because I think people always put such a bad image on them, but really it has to be, um, you know, taught to be done safely. And it's usually the owner that does the bad things with them. Yeah, archery is a very different um, sport, and there are different types. When you do archery, there are different types of bows. I use what they call a compound bow, so it has pulleys on it, so it's easier to pull back, but lets off a lot stronger. Um, and then there's traditional archery, which usually has it's a recurve bow or a long bow. Um, Archery was actually invented back in medieval times, and the people that used it the most were like the Mongols when they attacked a lot of the knights in England, and they had bows that they had to pull back a draw weight of 100 pounds, and um, and those guys were awesome with them because they would put an arrow between each finger and then could shoot one arrow right after the other. Um, Actually, it's pretty interesting. There's this one guy I watch on YouTube, and his name's Lars Anderson. But if you ever want to watch his style of archery, you would have to watch the newest Robin Hood movie. Uh, I don't know if you've seen it. It has, I forgot what his name. I think it's Taron Egerton in it with Jamie Foxx, and all the choreography for the archery is done by Lars Anderson, and it's great archery to watch because it's true archery. They show how people used to reuse arrows and everything, um, and it was how archery was meant to be. Yeah, when I learned to use a firearm very young, um, and but until I bought my first pistol, I had a friend, teach me all the ins and outs of it. And there's a lot to it. People don't realize that even if I unload it in front of you and you're going to pick it up, you always have to check it because you always have to consider it loaded. I think those are the biggest mistakes people make. Uh, That's like when I see the whole thing about the Alec Baldwin trial. Uh, he said that the person that was, um, you know, working on the firearms said they had unloaded it, but he went to use it and it was still loaded. It's still him to blame because he didn't check it. He should have checked to make sure it was unloaded. Yeah, it's a very good Robin. I think now it's got that Robin Hood movie's gotten a lot of criticism. Many people like the one with Kevin Costner and I forgot the other one that was recently, and I didn't like the. I liked the one Kevin Costner, but I'm trying to think who the other one was with that they did recently, and I didn't like it. It's kind of boring to me. But this one, the choreography, the archery was really, really good. I think it had a lot to do because I recognized the choreography done by Lars Anderson, and it showed true archery from those times. It was very accurate. Yeah, that's a very good one. Yeah, it was 2018 or 2019. I'm not sure the dates of it, but it is a very good one. It's fun to watch. I'll watch it every once in a while. It's not a long movie, um, and I like it. It's like I said, it's fun to watch because it does show. Um, Now, some of the things that I see in it is that they do make some things very modernized, like uh, some of the clothing, like what the sheriff of Nottingham wears, and uh, they show like a crossbow that's like fully automatic, but it goes back to like watching Romeo and Juliet when Leonardo DiCaprio did it. Um, it was it was very modernized because all their weapons, they were doing Romeo and Juliet, but they had cars and they had uh, certain weapons, and they were firearms, but they call them sword masters, calling everything like that. And so they just kind of took Romeo and Juliet, did in a modern version. This Robin Hood seems like they did it between both. They try to do it between medieval times and modern times. I love it. I love it. I'll watch it every once in a while just to watch it. It's it's one of my it's definitely my favorite Robin Hood movie. There's always critics out there. In fact, as you can see, I'm in Robin Hood green today. Even my eyes, and I have my arrow tattoo. You like it? I feel like I'm getting better at it. It took me a long time to get, to where it's coming out nice. Um, I used to be very my makeup, I used to do it very exaggerated. Like I would, my first wigs were, but the first one was purple, and I still have a purple one, and I have one that's black with purple and pink. So I would try to match my makeup to it, and I would do like purple lipstick and stuff like that. And not that I won't do it again, but I think I would exaggerate too much on the eyes, um, and then I started, as I started watching, getting some advice from friends, and started watching some YouTube videos. Like they said, less is more. One thing I've liked to do though is on my eyes, I like to do my little wing, and I will do the eyeshadow and try to match it to my blouses. Um, Today, like I said, my blouse is green with white, so I did like green on the inside and white on the outside of it. Um, so before, my makeup used to look more like drag queenish. Now I want it to look a little more plain and simple. Uh, Sometimes my eyeshadow, I feel, goes too high. Yeah, my tattoo. That's actually how the arrows that I own actually look like, except for the feel point here, or arrowhead, if that's what you want to call it. That is actually from. I don't know if you ever watched the um, Green Arrow TV show. That's from that. That's where I got the idea from that. Okay, thank you for telling me that, because um, I like wearing my glasses. I think they give a good look. I don't want to sound a little uh, like I'm putting myself on a pedestal there, but I like these, how they, and these are old ones. I want to get some new ones. I want more of a cat eye style, and I'll probably do like a blue filter lens on those, so they don't get as much of a, even less glare. Thank you. And actually, I used to wear these glasses as as a guy. I also have some that are clear frames, which I wear at work, and at work I still present as a male. Um, once certain assets start to show more, I'm gonna have to come out at work, um, so they know, I am female. Um, and once I start doing surgeries, my first surgery will be bottom surgery, though. Um, that's what gives me the most dysphoria. Uh, I, I don't know. It's just one of those things. All of us have different things that have, give us the most dysphoria. Up top, I feel like I'm growing well. Right now, I'm not even wearing a breastplate, and I'm just wearing a little bit of a push-up bra, and I'm already close to a B cup. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's why I love doing my channel. I like the support I get from everybody. I find it therapeutic to come on here, and talk to my treasures, as I call you guys. Um, Anybody that's visiting here or is a subscriber, everybody's considered a treasure. Um, Before I used to call them jewels, but I think I discovered, the word treasure is even better, because I used to put pictures of treasure chests all the time on my channel. So Lena, what part of the where do you live actually? If you just want to give a state, I'm not gonna, you know, um, that's fine, or country, or where are you located? I know you said you used to live out in Florida before. But if you're uncomfortable saying it, that's fine. Okay, I get it. Yeah, I know. Being open on the internet about stuff like that is kind of hard, because people will try to, you know, that's why I never give like a specific area in. Like I do say I live in New Mexico, and I give the city, but I never say exactly what area. I'm surprised no other people haven't joined in. Um, but like I said, this was very spontaneous. Um, my day's been good. Last night was kind of challenging. If you go watch my video from just before this, I yesterday had a little bit of a challenge. I was here at home. I was here on the computer watching a YouTube video, um, and I like to watch videos made by um, ex-Mormons because I used to belong to the church. In fact, technically, I still belong to the church, but I have to write my letter of resignation. Being LGBTQ, I think, will help, or being at least being, especially being transgender, will help. The cause, but so it started raining outside, and then I heard hail. So I went to my bed, the master bedroom, to look outside, and I walk into the master bedroom, and all of a sudden my foot's wet. So I look down, and there's a huge puddle in the master bedroom, and I had to find where the leak was, and I found it, and I threw a towel on there. It was on the wall by the baseboard, and yes, Calls to Consciousness. I watch her a lot. In fact, I'm subscribed. I'm subscribed. I watched her live stream last night. She was talking to one of the girls from Escaping Mormonism, or Escape. There's another guy. There's 4 people I watch about Mormonism. One's called Exmo Lex. The other one's called his channel is called Mormon Stories. He's actually a psychologist, and he talks about his time in the church and stuff. There's another girl named Alyssa Grenfell, and another girl, her channel goes by Nuanceho, and they are all ex-Mormons and great channels I watch. So yeah, last night I had to mop up a big mess in my room. I called my landlord, and I don't think anybody came to fix it today. So, and I hear there's supposed to be more rain today, so hopefully I'm not swimming at the end of the night. Might be good triathlon training though. I was able to get the room dry, the floor dry, but I told him, I'm like, if you don't want your floor to warp, I said, it's not my fault. I got it dry. I got what I needed to do, but and the first time I started watching those channels, and when I started watching a lot of anti-Mormon stuff, I remember I was very strong in the church still, and it's funny how your mindset is set that you start thinking about it, and it's like, oh, I came about this stuff, and you say, oh, this stuff is put here just so it challenges your testimony and it only makes it stronger. Nowadays, I can see how there was that mind control that they have, and that's what they made you think. Your testimony, everything's about your testimony, and whether to make it stronger or not. And they said all those channels were there to try to challenge it, and that you would come about these, and then it would help you strengthen yours by watching them, and then you have to go pray and figure it out whether what they said was true or not. Nowadays, I see what a lot of these people say, like Cults to Consciousness last night was very, very good. And a lot of the others I've been watching, have been putting across a lot of good points. It's amazing how the church is I think $250 billion organization. It's basically a business, and like less than half of 1% is actually given back to the members and help. I mean, they do have some good programs to help. They have their own welfare system, but it you would think they would help members more um, with that amount of money that they have. Today, I remember I was watching one guy that does Mormon stories, John Dehlin, um, and he was talking about. I think it got into a conversation about when Proposition 8 was being trying to be passed in California, which was anti-gay marriage. And I remember I was still living in California when that was going on, and the church would have meetings at the actual church building, and they always say they're anti-politics, and they would actually have us go there, get signs to take to people's houses to put them on their lawn. I couldn't believe it. Yes, it's amazing to find channels like that. When I got baptized into the Mormon Church, I actually grew up Catholic, um, and went to Catholic school, everything. And I thought, this was a whole new thing for me. It's nice. I had a lot of support there. I saw a lot of my friends from high school at the church, and next thing you know, after time, you start realizing the truth about what they do. If you ever really want to see how the mind control that they have, I would suggest going to like a Mormon church on the first Sunday of the month. They have what they call fasting testimony. So you technically fast for two meetings, or for two meals. I'm sorry. And everybody, when you go to church, basically you do an opening prayer, and then someone from the leadership will get up and give they call it their testimony, basically what they feel, there's what the church, how, you know, how they feel about it and everything. And then people are welcome to share theirs. And it's amazing how each person will give a very similar like talk. And it basically, it's like, if you listen to these people, it's like they're programmed. They share, I know this church is true. I know Joseph Smith was a true prophet of God. I know that whoever is the current leader of the church is a true prophet. Um, I know the scriptures are true. And it's just, every person will say the same words in their own way, but it's programming. They program your mind to think a certain way. And and then they're very, they get into certain political topics, and they're very anti, like I said, they're very anti LGBTQ. Although right now they say, oh, we welcome all LGBTQ people to come to church, but of course you can't be having an active relationship with your partner or whatever. I mean, um, when I joined, obviously I was still, presenting as male, and I received what they call the priesthood, and they don't allow women to have the priesthood. So, am I one of the first women to have the priesthood now? So, would they? Would that be history in the making? Looks like we got someone else in here. Welcome to the stream. Who could it be? Let's see. Let's look at. Just shows me and you in here, but I think there's another person that kind of hiding themselves in here. Yeah, Lena, I feel like many churches, like you said, you were a Christian. Good. I'm glad I'm making you comfortable enough to talk. I've always been a very, very reserved person. I feel like I can tell you that since I have come out, and started doing my transition and started doing my videos, I think it's helping me come out better in public, um, and being able to talk better on here. If you watch my first video, or even like my first year videos, I was always very, very nervous here online, and now I feel very comfortable to be able to talk to people. I'm very confident, and I think it's because I'm I found my true self. I found who I am, and I can, it helps me communicate a lot better. And never be afraid to comment on here, whether it's just me and you or 20 people in here. This is an open forum. My channel is about being an open forum, and talking about being in the LGBTQ family or any other topic. First of all, I want to say thank you for saying that. And yeah, it's okay to express yourself in any way you want. I tell people, I welcome any constructive criticism. I've had people leave poor comments on my channel, because there's people out there that will criticize the LGBTQ community all the time. So, but I just look at that as they've come onto the channel, they put a bad comment, but yet it helps grow the algorithm a lot more. And yeah, that's what I want. I want people to be comfortable in here. I want them to be able to talk here. Whenever I do a live stream on the other channel on StreamYard, I can always put the link to the channel in the chat box, and whoever wants to can join in. A positive look on what? I tried to take a positive spin on everything. Like, I know many people face challenges nowadays, especially. Did you say you were LGBTQ? Especially in our community, it can be challenging. And this is symbolic of that, because if you ever think of archery, and I know I've said it in probably 20 of my videos, and I will say it 100 more times. An arrow is very symbolic of our life, um, in the fact that we will face challenges in our life that will pull us back like an arrow when it's being shot. And then there's a certain point that you can't pull that arrow back, and then you let go of it, and it shoots forward faster than you pulled it back. And that's where we move forward, no matter in what challenge it is, whether it is being of, you know, discriminated against or anything. Yeah, that's exactly it. They just help the algorithm. Oh yeah, you were Pan, and that's that's what I've always like felt myself be somewhere as bi Pan, but I think I'm finding myself to be more, on the lesbian uh, end of things, because I I I, I mainly focus on women. So uh, being female, although a trans female, still it make me a lesbian. Um, I know if you told that to other people, they're gonna, you know, it, they'll throw a different spin on it. So, um, but yeah, I'm definitely trans. I'll call it a transbian. So actually, I should say Happy Pride. Exactly. That's how we all think about it. Um, to me, like I said, anybody that leaves a rude comment just helps my algorithm grow and grow and grow. Um, and honestly, if they decided to, subscribe to the channel to put more rude comments later on, it just helps the channel grow. And that's the way I look at things. I wonder, what do you think? Tomorrow, I'm going to do my usual Tuesday video, and then do you think I should do another live stream? I get off work at around 3:30 to 4, and I can come home straight home and do my video and my live stream. Yeah, that's what I had to do this year. Saturday, I was going to go to the Pride Parade. I actually wanted to go because my work at the VA actually had a Pride float, and I had bought a real nice T-shirt in the gift shop. It said "Pride counts at the VA." I probably would have worn that, and then I probably would have either gone with the float or looked around, because when I moved towards this direction, one of the main trans activists or that I watch, she's actually located out here, and I haven't gotten a chance to meet her. Um, and I was actually talking to her on Snapchat, and she said she was going to be out there, but I was still at the tail end of COVID, and I really thought about it, and I thought, it's gonna be a massive crowd. If I go out there, it could spread everywhere, and I didn't want to do that. I would feel bad. Maybe tomorrow I'll do black hair. Maybe I'll do my black wig, or maybe my black with purple and pink. Go a little on the wild side. Yeah, I totally wanted to go to the Pride Parade, and one of my friends out in Florida, she said it probably wouldn't have been a good idea with people, with a lot of violence that's gone on lately against the, our against the LGBTQIA family. So I don't know. I probably would have still gone. And the big thing is here in New Mexico, where we are an open carry state. So, people could go with firearms and they wouldn't be questioned because it's open carry state. It's legal to have them on your side. I think the biggest thing that makes me nervous sometimes is because, and I probably should have moved when I moved into my apartment. I should probably moved in as a, obviously dressed in as a female, and so now, my neighbors saw me move in as a guy, and so I still walk out of the house sometimes dressed as me, like this, like when I go to my doctor's appointments and stuff. And I've never gotten any, you know, bad comments or anything. Actually, the LGBTQ community is well accepted here. I think when I was looking at stats, they're saying there's like a 74 acceptance rating here, at least in Albuquerque. Yeah, and I find it fun when I go out. Um, it, it's I can express myself and be me, um, and not hide. And it's one of those things. It's hard when you're hiding. I hate it because, like at work, like I said, I'm not out at work, so at work I still go as what you would call your dead, my dead self. I go as a guy, um, and I and then at work, that's when I actually feel some dysphoria because, um, I feel uncomfortable not being me. And then I wear my work polo shirts, and I wear a size large on those. And certain things are starting to show through the large polo. Um, if you get what I mean. Yeah, I know. Oh, I get where you say oops. That's okay. We all make, I'm horrible with typing. I always make typos. Um, when, um, so, like I said, certain assets are starting to show, and my polos are showing them. Um, and I know in the next few months, they're probably just going to get bigger. So I'm probably by, I know the 1 year mark, I'm probably gonna have to come out. I have a feeling they say at 2 years is when 2 to 3 years is when you're fully developed. I have a feeling I'm gonna be a C cup or maybe even a D cup. Like I said, I have a daughter, and I think she might be a D cup. And they say you gotta look at the girls in your family. And I know she didn't get it from her mom's side. like I said, my next step for me it will be in a year to do bottom surgery, and uh, depending how big these get, I will figure out if I need an augmentation. I do need to start doing laser hair removal, and thank you very much, Lena. I love talking with you. You're great. Uh, you know, I hope someday you jump on the StreamYard where we can see you face to face. Um, yeah, there's lots to it. For example, with 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 being trans, you got to figure out whether your insurance covers things. Luckily, I have. First of all, I'm a federal employee, so they are very, they're very relaxed about the LGBTQ community, and they back us up very good. Second thing, in fact, I even have it as one of my um, tabs up on my computer right now, and it shows everything that my federal Blue Cross Blue Shield covers, and they cover just about every surgery you could have for transitioning. They cover, you know, they'll cover if I want a vaginoplasty, they'll cover I think 70% of that, so I have to come up with 30% of it. Uh, they cover facial feminization surgery. They'll cover breast augmentation. They cover even voice feminization surgery. Um, uh, what was the other thing? They'll actually cover the laser hair removal. Um, so many things that you one doesn't imagine. They'll cover it all. Um, just to the big thing is that what they're trying to do is make sure your gender dysphoria um, is gone. And one of the big, well, of course, you do have to get the diagnosis of gender dysphoria. There's several hoops you have to jump through. You have to be on hormone therapy for a certain amount of time. I think I've met that. Um, I have a diagnosis of gender dysphoria, and and then then they look at all that. I guess I got to call in and have some forms sent in or sent to me, so the person that's uh, my doctor can start filling out the forms, uh, so we can start looking at surgeons and everything else. Because then you have to go to surgeons that that they cover. Now, Lena, how we talked to you, you were Pan. So you focus on people's personalities. That's uh, how how you determine whether you like someone or not, um, or whether you're attracted to them. I know when I first came out as bi and then decided to go Pan, um, I would always focus on women. So eventually, I was talking with other friends. I had a lot of friends that, like, I have one friend and she's bisexual, and then I have another friend, she's lesbian, and um, especially my friend that's lesbian, she's very, very good at figuring me out. And yeah, she told me most definitely, now that I'm transitioning, she figured, I should, be more focused on women, because that's what I always looked at. And that, yeah, she figured that I was lesbian. Yeah, it takes time to figure yourself out. With me, um, I'll tell you what, I've actually been through two marriages now. My first one went downhill because she started seeing other guys. Um, my second one, there was kind of a lot of kind of mutual things that happened, and I know there was mistakes I made, a lot of things on her end, and but um, when I started coming out, I came out bisexual, and she was very appreciative when I did say that to her. But once I discovered myself as trans, well, at first it was mainly cross dressing, and I think that one of the big mistakes I did make was when I first tried on women's clothes, it was her clothes, and she said she didn't appreciate that. And right now we're still in the middle of divorce, and she always uses that against me about putting on her clothes. And um, but I had to try on something, and figure myself out to see who I was. And and I finally did. And I I remember I had a box, and I put it in the garage because we had a discussion. She said, okay, you can keep some of your stuff that you do have. And I put a box in the garage with, I had like three really nice wigs. They were like real human hair, and those are expensive. And um, then, but there was a dress in there. I think it happened to be hers, and she went out there, opened it up, and then she ended up throwing everything away. And it was not cool. So we were already in the middle. We were separated. We lived on opposite ends of the house, and we, uh, you know, were already en route to it. But so then we set a plan to separate. And when I ended up finding the job here in New Mexico, and I told her about it, and she got upset because I had to finally. It took me a year before I could end up moving out here myself, and because she was doing certain work, and now she's upset because I decided to move all of a sudden. And but I had to move on, to be able to move on with my life as who I truly am. Now I was able to buy a bunch of my own clothes. Um, I was, I started this channel. I actually started it when I was still over there, but I could barely get a chance to do videos because, um, in this wonderful day that you can have Ring cameras in your house, there was like so many Ring cameras in that house that I felt like I was always being watched. So I could never get anything done, and I could never be myself. Um, and now I moved over here, and I was able to decorate my house or my apartment how I want to. Um, I moved to New Mexico, so I figured I'd do this wonderful space theme. As you can see, and I know they're kind of blurry in the pictures. This is okay. So over here, I have like the planet Saturn. This is a flying saucer, and uh, I'm sorry. And right here, this is a moon with a star on it. Then further over there, I actually have an alien neon light. I can put up my trans flag right here, and you know, and I have an alien rug down here, alien salt and pepper shakers. I thought it matched the fact that I'm so near Roswell that I could do my decorations all in aliens in space. Plus, I'm a big Star Wars geek. I do have some, Star Wars decorations in my pod. Yeah, I totally went with the alien decor, alien space theme type of thing. It was fun. And I was able to set up my computer. Actually, my this computer, what it is actually my laptop, and I bought like a nice wireless keyboard, wireless mouse, but everything's hooked into my laptop, and I have a screen right here where I'm watching you from, and then I have a webcam on it. I got my mic right here. I have a second monitor here, but I'm having a hard time hooking it up to all of this. I just bought a monitor splitter, so I want to try to get it hooked up. I bought this monitor though at Goodwill. It was less than $5, so that might be the issue. I may have to go buy a new monitor like this one. Yep. You know what I've been doing lately? When I got out here, well, last year on Black Friday, I got Disney Channel or Disney Plus for $3.99 a month, although it uses commercials during it. And I've been doing a big Star Wars marathon, and you know how you have to include all the animated series and all that. And what I've been doing it in timeline order. Oh my goodness, how long does that take? There's 7 seasons of Clone Wars. I just got to the point where I'm at Ahsoka, and after Ahsoka, it's Star Wars Resistance, and then it's the trilogy, and now they started the Acolyte. I get what you're saying. Yeah, I should probably ask permission. A lot of the clothes she had a ton of clothes, and she was putting it aside to give it away. And I thought, hey, if she's gonna put this out for Goodwill, I can try it on. And I just assumed, and that was wrong. Yeah, if you can see, it's weird because everything's backwards here. I have an elf doll right here. I got a little Yoda right there. Of course, then I've got an Anonymous mask, but uh, that I just bought off of Temu recently. That's where I get a lot of my stuff. A lot of my clothes I get on Temu, or there's a liquidator store here that sells Shein products, and you know, um, and that's where I get a lot of my clothing. Oh no, I've been a Star Wars geek since 1977 when the first Star Wars came out. So I've watched every single one. I just happened to see it like maybe the first night it came out in 77, or maybe a few days after, because my uncle just said, "Hey, let's go watch this new space movie that came out." And we went and saw it, and after that I was hooked. So whenever it comes out in the theaters again or something new comes out in the theaters, I'm there at midnight showings. That's how much of a Star Wars geek I am. Big one. The only thing I don't own yet is some kind of uh, Star Wars uh, uh, costume, which I do want, a real nice one. I actually would like. Do you know which one Captain Phasma is? She's a stormtrooper that's all chrome plated. I would love Captain Phasma armor, and it's a female stormtrooper, so that that would be awesome. It's played by she's played by Gwendolyn Pierce from Game of Thrones, so she's big also. So it's she's. I thought it was a wonderful role. Unfortunately, when you watch the sequel trilogy, they didn't do much with that character. That was a waste of a character. I would go to conventions. I would totally go do cosplay and go to a convention. I grew up in San Diego, so the biggest Comic Con is in San Diego. I have a cousin that makes Comic Con costumes, and like her mom really hates that she does such good work because that's what she wants to do as a job, as a career. And her older sister and her older brother are nurses, but they don't want her, so they want her to be a nurse because there's a lot of good work in nursing, but she loves doing her making cosplay costumes, and she makes very good costumes. She, you know, um, I've even tried having her make me a Green Arrow one. I told her I would pay her because I'm big into the Green Arrow, as you can see. So I asked her, I said, "How much would you charge for a Green Arrow costume?" She didn't ever give me a reply. Maybe that would be a way to meet somewhere. We could go to a Comic Con together or meet each other at a Comic Con. I know San Diego Comic Con is the hardest one to go to, and we could do some cosplay. I would totally do female cosplay. I would do, like I said, I would do Captain Phasma. I wouldn't want to do Leia. If any other female character I would do in Star Wars, I would want to do Padme. She was a little badass. Another thing I think that would be cool to set up is I wouldn't mind doing like a little meetup with people on my channel and all of us meet up somewhere and meet in person. Whether, it doesn't have to be that you're trans, whether, in any part of the LGBTQIA, family. Let me tell you something about that, Elena. I found that interesting one time. I went about 3 years ago to San Diego. My daughter went with me, and my mom booked us a trip to Vegas, like all of us together. And my daughter, when we were going through Caesar's Palace, we were going through several uh, clothing stores, and she was walking in there, and she was saying, you know, of course, she calls me dad because, I was presenting male. And she goes, so dad, I don't even know why clothes have gender. She goes, I can, you know, take, I think she had a different boyfriend at the time. I can take one of so and so's t shirts and wear it and some of his shorts, and it's no big deal. But if he turned around and wore one of my dresses, people would call him, gay or a fag or something, and um, which is true. It's like women can wear guys' clothing, but guys can't wear women's clothing. So she says, I don't understand why clothes have gender. And I found that to be amazing. And I think at that time, I had already started cross dressing. And in fact, while we were out there in Vegas, my ex found my purple wig, or the envelope it came in. She found it, and she called me and was questioning me about it and wanted me to fly home right away. And so what happened is um, my daughter said something later on, and she said, "Oh, we were driving by a car that had my dead name plus an A at the end," and said, "Oh, look, that would be your name uh, if you transitioned." So I've always wondered if she already suspected things. You know, she's a very smart young lady, and always wondered if she already suspected it. And then I told her because my ex kept calling and hounding me about everything, wanted me to fly right back to Florida, and hounding me. And I think I came out to her telling her I did cross dress at the time. I haven't come out to her as trans yet, though. Exactly. I think they should be genderless. And I think my daughter had a good point there that clothes should not have gender. In fact, they say at one point, skirts were actually made for men, but then throughout time it changed, and women started wearing them, and it stuck with that. Me, I will tell anybody. I will definitely tell you. I enjoy you here on my channel. You're a great person. Um, I'm gonna, that's the whole thing about my videos on Tuesdays. That's why I call it Transition Tuesday. It's about my transition and all the updates I have. In fact, if you go on my channel, there is a playlist called Transition Tuesday. It talks about all the little updates. In fact, I even talk about how to transition without medications and little things you can do before, starting on medication and doing a medical transition. Uh, Before I was doing medical transition, I started painting my nails, although they were clear. I was getting manicures, doing clear, but then I started doing clear with glitter in it, and I would go like that to work. In fact, I haven't done that in a while. I may do it after I get back from California. Um, I would do. I enjoy getting my nails done. The only thing is I can't wear long ones because I'm in the medical field, and you know, there's a lot of other things. Like I shave my whole body already. I used to I was a swimmer, so I'd shave my legs. I've always shaved my legs. So, those are little things people can do. I started make sure when I bathe, I moisturize my skin so it would get softer. The only thing that's not soft are my hands, the palms of my hands, because I wash them so much at work. But I keep my moisturizing lotion. I am going to come out fully soon, in probably the next year or so. I know it's going to take time, but I'm going to have to because obviously things are showing. See, that's natural. That's no that's just with a push-up bra. So that's just with a push-up bra. But they're natural. No padding, no breastplate, nothing. So I'm happy with them. And then now that my makeup's getting better as I've learned, um, it's been great. And luckily these glasses are very androgynous. So I could wear them as a guy, I can wear them as a girl. So my other ones, my newest ones are androgynous, but I'm gonna order a couple pairs off of Zenny. Um, my makeup, I actually buy it at Walmart. I did a scan of of my face, and it told me which Maybelline foundation to use, like what number. Um, Actually, a lot of like my eyeshadow and my eyeliner, I actually bought it on Temu, and it's pretty cool because it has a tip on each side. One tip on one side, you take the cap off. It's shaped like a triangle, so you can just like stamp the triangle on there, and then you can shape your wing. You can shape the wing, and you can shape it however you want. I just kind of try to take it a little longer. If you want to take it up, angle it a little higher, you can, lower or higher, and then you can shape it, rounder. Um, and then you just, do the eyeliner on the inside. Then I have a lot of eyeshadow palettes that a friend bought for me. So I try to, make a match. So like today I've got the green blouse. I put the green on the inside and put the white on the outside. Sometimes I'll just do one color. Um, Sometimes I'll do my eyebrows. I bought this like dauber type of pen. It comes with a stencil that you put over it, and then you just kind of stencil over it, and it makes it look fuller. And then just lipstick. I have lots of different colors. I have like a pink. I have red. Um, like today, I'm wearing a brown uh, because I figured it would contrast the green. I have purple lipstick. I even have a green lipstick. Uh, I haven't done that on any video just yet. I don't know how well it would look. Sometimes I like trying to do some kind of wild look. I do have purple lipstick, and I'll do it. I'll try to put on like a purple dress, put on the purple lipstick with my black, purple, and pink wig, and we'll contrast like the eyeshadow in pink. I tend to buy mine. I actually just buy it at Walmart. I'm not, picky about where I buy it. I may go to Ulta one day and have someone sit down with me and see what goes best with me. Yeah, eyeliner took me a while to learn, especially the cat eye or wing, because it takes time and it's like muscle memory. When I used to do it when I was still in Florida and still living with my ex, I would get nervous, so it would come out horrible. Even when I moved out here, I was still not good at it, but it just took practice and practice. And a couple of friends coached me, and they said, you got to take it, do it a little lighter, not, put on as much. And with time, I just learned on my own. It took time to figure it out. As far as the foundation, I just, put it on my hand. I don't know if you guys ever seen the little sponges that look like a teardrop, and then I'll just spread some on my forehead, some down the sides, and then just kind of spread it out. Um, the thing that's hard is to really conceal, because I haven't had facial hair removal. So it's conceal that beard. So then I'll put some concealer down here and around the mustache area, then concealer under my eyes, do the concealer on that. Um, and then I'll contour with some facial powder. And you can see I'll contour the bottom, on the bottom, and then um, and then along the cheek line, and even up here, going up. So, I just kind of try to even things out, giving it good contour, contour. I'll even put a little bit of powder on my nose, contour here, and then just some around the forehead. I still haven't gotten guts to do a makeup video because I still don't think I'm good enough at it. Maybe I'll do. What do you think? Should I do something tomorrow and try do one of my wigs in purple tomorrow, either my purple wig or my black purple pink one? I just want to just to do something different. You would? You'd watch a video of me doing my makeup? That means you'd have to see me still, from the beginning, and I'd probably still look very masculine. Okay, so what I'll do tomorrow for my Transition Tuesday video is I will do my black with pink and purple one. I have like a purple dress. I think I'll do that. And then do my, see, I could probably do my eyeshadow with the pink on the inside and purple towards the outside and do some purple lipstick. Go a little on the wild side. Yeah, I'm comfortable doing it. I'm just maybe feel, like I said, do something on the wild side. Okay, I'll do that. I think it'll be fun. It'll be my last video before my vacation, so um, I think I'll just go like I'll start it off like that. That I decided to go a little on the wild side. It'll be fun. Like I said, I'll pull out my purple dress, black with purple and pink wig, and then kind of transition the eye shadow that way. Start with pink on the inside, purple on the outside, and then I got purple lipstick. Well, I could do pink lipstick actually because the dress is purple. I'll do that. So I'll do this nice pink lipstick right here, or this one. I can do that. I have a friend of mine, and she's going with me, and she lives in Nashville. She's going to meet me there in San Diego, and um, she worked at the VA with me in Florida, so it'll be fun. Obviously, we're going to stay with. I'm from San Diego, and my family's still there, so I'm going to stay with my mom. Like I said, I tell people I'm still not out with my family. I really don't think she's ready for that yet because um, she's had a lot of, there's been a lot of loss in my family, especially to the COVID times. And um, like my dad passed away, her younger brother and her younger sister. So I don't think she would technically be ready to lose a son but gain a daughter. I don't think she's ready for that. So what my friend and I might do is drive up to Los Angeles and cruise Hollywood Boulevard, like walk it, and maybe cruise through Beverly Hills. And what I'll do is I'm probably gonna take some. I do have some clothing packed for then, and I will maybe on the drive up towards Los Angeles, I'll get all dressed up. Yeah, I like you said, I'm doing it when I'm ready to. Also, it's difficult because I am from a Hispanic family, and it's a very misogynistic culture. So seeing a guy go from male to female will be hard. So, but I have packed. I'm packing some of my makeup. I'm packing. I have one dress packed already. I may pack. I don't know. Maybe I'll pack a swimsuit. You like my swimsuit I bought recently? It's like fish scales and like a rainbow pattern. Um, so my friend and I want to hit the beach, uh, and I think I'm gonna pack my blonde wig here. So, and she knows I'm trans. She's seen pictures of me, and she's very comfortable with it. I know I have that, and I have a yellow swimsuit that another friend bought me. She's the first one that figured me out. Um, I was, she lives out in San Diego. Yeah, I know I'd be looking like a mermaid. I could swim like one too. You remember, I'm a swimmer, I'm a triathlete. So there's my triathlon tattoo. Um, my first friend that figured me out was a girl I went to high school with, and we were talking on the phone, and uh, we were talking like wanting to go out, and she started I started telling her that I liked to cross dress, and then at one point she said, maybe you should go on hormones, and because you know, it seems like you're very feminine, and then she came up on something saying that, oh, maybe we can go out being like lesbians, and then later on she was like, no, Jill, I can't do that. And she's the one that also bought me all those nice wigs. Bought me three. There was a website where they would sell like three for the price of two. I mean, they weren't expensive, but they were from China, so it takes a long time to get them shipped. And but they were real hair. I'm drinking my Arnold Palmer. Have you ever had an Arnold Palmer? It's half iced tea, half lemonade. I had a Mountain Dew before that. Um, I'm trying to. I am being. I don't want to say I'm gonna fast. I'm like on an intermittent fast diet before I go to California, because when I go to California and visit my mother, oh my goodness, talk about eating. Um, First thing I do when I arrive in California, I have In-N-Out Burger. I don't know if you've ever had one, but it's my favorite burger place, and simple menu, unless you know the not so secret menu. And the first thing I order is what they call a 4x4. It's a burger with 4 patties and 4 slices of cheese. And then I order some cheese fries, and it's usually an order of fries, and they just throw a cheese on top of it from like if you were having a hamburger or a cheeseburger, just a slice of cheese. And then they'll make you a Neapolitan shake if if you know that they make them. You got to do. There's a secret menu at these restaurants. So, and then after that, it's just if you're of Mexican descent, a Mexican mother will feed you like there's no tomorrow, especially if they find out that you haven't eaten, or that they'll just spoil you. I know she gets up like in the morning, and like everybody that's at the house, she'll ask each and every person what they want to eat, and cook a different meal for each person. And actually, I've had a couple of friends like that. Then another friend that. Okay. Then, in my coming out story, it was kind of strange because I had another friend, and I worked with her several years when I worked in the emergency room. And she turned out to be one of my patients when I started at the VA. And one day we were talking, and she figured out I was trans, because, well, I was telling her I was cross-dressing, and then we met for lunch one day, and she's all, do you have a name for yourself when you cross-dress? And I used to use a different name. And if you watch like my first 6 months of videos, I used to go under the name Tristana. And, and then I switched to Jules. And actually, because that's part of my dead name, and it was a nickname that people would call me by, I figured it's easier to transition to Jules than to Tristana. And people would always call me Jules. So I said, what the heck? I'm just going to become Jules. And but when she, I told her that I would go by Tristana. She's all, let me tell you something. You're cross-dressing and you have a female name for yourself. You're probably trans. And she's all, have you ever thought about that? And I said, yes, I have thought about that. Then I had another friend, have another friend, and she worked there at the VA with me. And um, when they were talking, and you know, we came out to each other, and I told her that I was trans. I flat out just told her I'm trans, and then back then I was still identifying as bi. Um, but now she's the one that told me, you tend to focus more on women. I think you're lesbian. and, um, and then there's plenty of people I've come out to as trans. After I left the Florida VA and I moved out here, I came out to the RN I used to work with out in Florida. She was very, very Christian, and I didn't know how she would take it. And I still wear it. I have a rainbow lanyard that they were giving away a year ago at the VA for Pride Month, and so I got one, and I kind of kept it hidden for a while. So then I said one day, I said, you know what, just screw it. I'm going to start wearing it, and so I started wearing it, and sure enough. Nobody ever said anything about it. They just kept to themselves. And um, but eventually, to my friend, my RN, who's basically like a sister to me. Um, Once I moved over here, I sent her a text message, or I sent her a message on Microsoft Teams, and I said, we need to talk. But I said I'm gonna have to send it via text message. I said I don't really want to do it here. And I said, no, Caroline. I just need to tell you something. I said, I don't know. I felt weird telling you when I was still there, but I'm trans. And I sent her a picture of me dressed up as me, and she was very accepting. I thought, with how uh, Christian she was, that I didn't think she'd accept me that much. And no, she was very open to it. I had already come out to several people before leaving over there, even my manager. Yeah, it's hard to come out, and especially like I said, the my RN that I worked with, I'm an LPN, so every team has a doctor, an RN, an LPN, and you have a social worker and um, on your team. And when I used to sit right next to my RN, so this is my desk, and then there would be another computer in the middle, then her desk, and I'd find it hard to come out to her. It was one of those big things. It was just I didn't know how she would take it because she was so into being Christian. And then finally, when I moved out here, I know it was kind of a weird way to do it on the phone, texting. But I said, I just have to. And I told her because next time I see her, I may be me. I'm probably gonna be me. So. Uh, you know that's how it is. It's it felt weird to come out to her. So I didn't know how she was going to take it, but other people accepted it very quick. I came out here at work. I came out to one of my managers, um, because my ex was threatening to call the VAPD about it, and I don't know what she was going to gain with that. And so I told my manager, I'm like, she's gonna call because I said, this. I said, I just gotta be straightforward with you. She said, oh well, there's no need to worry. The VA is very um, pro LGBTQ, and you know, they're not gonna come and say anything. And so I even put a report in with PD, and so they, you know, she even told my manager was even, oh, well, she's all, when Pride Month comes around, there's a big parade here. VA makes a big float. If you want to participate and go with the float, um, you know, you should participate. Oh, that's okay. I just took it nonchalant. I protected myself by telling my manager, and if she did, try to call and do whatever. And then another time that she made another accusation that was horrible, I I just had to go to the VA police. I have lots of support, and especially within our community. I still haven't met a lot of LGBTQ people here. I haven't really gone out and networked, but I have a lot of friends from Florida that are part of the family. There's one, she calls me every morning and every afternoon. We stay in communication. She's not trans, but she's part of the family. I have another one that's a social worker over there that's, also a member of the family, and we'll communicate on IMs through the computer at work at times. And we're just very open with each other. In fact, there's another social worker that is too, and we just keep in touch. It's a wonderful thing. I think that coming out as trans and lesbian has been wonderful because I've just met more people, and I think they're more supportive than anybody in cisgender heterosexual community, because those are people that'll turn on you in an instant. I think as LGBTQIA, we all support each other in some way or another. Why? Why do you cry? For example, I'm going to tell you, Lena, that's why I'm here on this channel. And I will do live streams as much as I can. I will do my videos. You can always message me through my channel, through a comment. And, you know, and, if you ever need to talk, we can, you can just send me a comment and I will comment right back. I'm here for help to help you out, and especially since you say you're new to the community, to the family, however you want to consider it. I have so much access to resources at work, and I say it in every video, every live stream I go to. I have a database I can go into. The VA supports all LGBTQIA veterans. So they have handouts and everything. They have a department called Whole Health that looks at a person as, that every part of a person, whether it's physical, you know, psychosocial, spiritual. So it's a holistic department that looks at every aspect of a person, and they have like handouts to give veterans, and they will help veterans. They'll help them get prosthetics. So if they're male to female, they will get them, um, breastplates or bras with prosthetic breasts. So it will help them, they will help them with wigs and everything um, to help. Yeah, I know there's a lot of places like that. Having lived in Florida, and if you watch all over the news, you see what Governor DeSantis is doing. Um, when I lived in Florida, I had transitioned for 6 months. I was doing good progress, and then one day I was transitioning and I was going through Planned Parenthood. They had to shut down their program to help people transition because of certain regulations he made, and they just stopped helping everybody transition. So, and so then when I moved out here, I was moving out here to New Mexico for a different reason, but I found out that it's very supportive of the community slash family of the entire LGBTQ family. It's very accepted, especially here in Albuquerque, and they, have been very accepting. And there's plenty of clinics I can go to get my hormone therapy. I chose. I was trying to go to the University of New Mexico clinics, but they were full. Like it would take a long time to get in. I found another little clinic, and they have been great. I love them. Yeah, and a lot, like I said, a lot of places are like that. Florida was like that. Um, like I was surprised, like when I was with my ex, she was like the most liberal person there was. But when she found out I pretty much was trans, she was so anti-trans that it was horrible. And when you hear someone, liberal being that way, it's completely different. And I remember when like she was like the day that Biden came into office, she was like, she knew he was going to make a lot of gun regulations. She was telling me, "Oh, well, you're going to have to get rid of this, and you're going to have to get rid of this because, you know." And I was like, "No, I own those, so there's a grandfather clause that I own this stuff." But I came out here, and it is such a balanced state. It is a liberal legislature, but like I said, it's an open carry state, and I can own my firearms legally. And unfortunately, yes, it is unfortunate that we have to hear a lot of, um, bad things going on. Well, Lena, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I mean, this is 2 hours we've been here talking to each other. I know we didn't have more people in the live stream. Um, I actually have to get ready to go to bed. I'm gonna go take probably a bath, you know, something nice and relaxing. Um, and it's good I can hold my bladder for a good long time because that's what's the big thing about being a nurse. You learn how to hold it. Um, so uh, I appreciate having you in here. I always appreciate talking to you. Maybe we'll do. Do you want to do another live stream tomorrow? Maybe we can get more people in here. Um, and like I'll do my usual transition Tuesday video, and then I'll do a live stream. Uh, I'll try to do it as early as possible. And like I said, I appreciate you being in here. It was a wonderful conversation. We talked a lot about a lot of good things, and you have a good night.